Hello and very warm welcome to Dr. Ahmed YouTube channel. Today in this short video we are going to record something about the questionnaires and their questions which are used in the questionnaires. It's a type of introductory session regarding the questionnaire, and that is why I'm going to show you what is it here. It is about the questionnaires and quantitative research. Now all of you know very well that questionnaires are very important and they are used in order to gather data or collect data from the target population by sampling or without sampling sometime, and this is mostly used in the quantitative researches. Let's proceed further and see what these questionnaires are. For example, first of all, I need to show you that questionnaires are what? Questionnaires are the list of questions, as it's visible here. That's the list of questions, and or it can be the items, list of items which are used to gather data from the respondents. This data can be about their responses, experiences, and attitudes of the people. So in that way, the questionnaires can be defined by saying that these are the lists of questions. The question may be of various types, but then the lists are there, and following the list, one is able to calculate a lot of respondents' responses because of this. And then let's proceed further and see much more into it. And now here comes the types. The questionnaire has most of the time two types. One is the self-administered type, other is the researcher-administered type. Let us see them separately, what these can be possibly. First of all, self-administered questionnaire. Self-administered questionnaires are shared online. They are not personally given or handed over. These are administered by the person sitting far away, and as a result, these are cost effective. These are designed by the researcher, but they are cost effective and nobody has to go there. But because of the lack of in-person interaction, the data may be irrelevant. The data may be misleading when it is collected. So in that way, one is unable to trust it on 100%. So the questionnaires which are administered online are not that trustworthy, although they are important, but still they are not preferred mode. The preferred mode is the questionnaire that is administered by the researcher. These questionnaires are planned by the researcher, created by the researcher, and they are very much useful in ensuring the better results because the questionnaire is sitting before the person and the person is answering to that person. Or in the presence, the questions are being taught, told what does they mean, and answer therefore comes very much. In this way, not only the representation or the representative sample is ensured and the questions is clear, and definitely the answer is also going to be clear. So when we keep these two things in our mind, what type of questionnaire would be better? The preferred questionnaire is the researcher administered question. Now definitely, as we said earlier, that questionnaires have the list of questions. We need to see what these questions can be in the list. So that is, first of all, we may be saying that the questions are, the open-ended questions or MCQs or ranking questions or yes or no questions. Let us now see them one by one. For example, first of all, open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are the questions which do not, for example, require the answer to be yes or no. They simply can be answered by telling the reasons or by explaining the argument. For example, if the question is how does product solve the problem, the respondent has to speak it all the time to say what were the way, what were the reasons that it was so useful. So such questions are called as the open-ended questions. The same is the case with the MCQs. MCQs are the questions where a lot of choices are given, normally 4 choices, sometimes 3 or sometimes 5 choices are given to the respondent. The question statement is given first of all. For example, what is the capital of Germany? Select one. The 4 names of the cities are given: Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, Düsseldorf. And out of that, one is to be ticked. So that is the easiest way to ask because they provide an opportunity to the respondent to think less and to answer the question as good as possible, and his knowledge is also tested because of that. And then comes the next comes the kind of type of question, let us say, is the ranking question. As the name or the title suggests, that ranking questions are the questions where one has to change the rank of the things. For example, if in the list from 1 to 5, 6 different items are given rank wise, say ascendingly, the respondent is required to change the number, change the rank of these things. For example, the question is which AV aid is the best choice for classroom. Now there are 6 choices given. according to the ascending order, but the respondent can say tablets are good, so it will go to number 1. You can say multimedia projector is very good, it can go to number 1, and the order will change. So this type of questions are called the ranking questions. Then there is yes or no questions. These are close-ended questions. For example, does it rain here? Yes or no can be answered. Just one word is quite sufficient in the answer to such questions. Is the weather hot here? Yes or no can be answered. So these questions are called as the yes or no questions. The Likert scale questions are also there. These are scaled questions. Here, one does not need to provide the correct information, but rather one needs to tell the kind of attitude or the response to the question. For example, if somebody has put the question, are you satisfied with the funds given to education system? The answers are many. For example, it says strongly agreed or disagree or agree or strongly disagree. So any of the attitude can be mentioned here, that if you are neutral, you don't want to answer it. It means the true information, facts and figure education is not to be given. Information is not to be given. It's simply the thinking that is given in the answer to these questions. So these are possibly some of the types of questions that can be included in the questionnaires. But then there are many other types of questions that it's not quite sufficient to list. This is just an introductory video, which is done for the sake of introduction for the benefit of the students, not that detailed. There may be many examples of these types of questions. The students should go online and find out. I have also copied a list of the questions which I want to show more types of questions I want to show. For example, if you look at that, it's got metric questions, drop-down questions, demographic questions, image choice questions, click map questions, or file upload questions, or slider questions, or benchmark questions. So that is the way how one can have many more types of questions as well. But then, in order to practice your quantitative research, this type of sufficient question style has been given. I hope so that the video will be liked and something will be understood. So therefore, do not fail to hit the subscribe button as the like button, and you can comment on YouTube if I have the time to be answering. So far, thank you for watching. Hope to see you in some next video.